I have something very practical to show you today. Nothing super flashy, nothing that's gonna blow your socks off, but just something that by the end of the video, I think a lot of you are gonna be saying, huh, yeah, I think I might wanna get one of those. Practical tech is kind of the best tech. Like the tech that I use most often is
Why would someone get one of these? Seriously. By the looks of it, before he even talks, I noticed it's a charger of some sort, plugs into the wall, and it has 3 ports in regards to USB-C, Type A, and then it has a HDMI output. It looks like input, output. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Continue.
Usually the boring stuff that just makes my life a little bit easier. I can focus on the important things. And AVerMedia just sent me these 2 gaming chargers. Chargers for gamers? I don't really know how to describe this. Just look, you have 2 USB-C, a USB-A, and an H.
All right, a gaming charger. Now, I don't know if that's the marketing side that's saying, hey, let's name this device a gaming charger. Like I said, 100-watt charger, USB-C, Type A, and then you see a HDMI slot. What's going on with this? I don't know.
HDMI. So let me just tell you what it is. I feel like I'm already talking too much. Let's get into it. Link in the description. Almost identical. Well, these 2 don't look almost identical, but you can get either one in either color. They're almost indistinguishable. These are 100-watt triple chargers, where either of the USB-Cs can do 100 watts using Power Delivery 3 protocol. And just for funsies, here is it compared to Apple's 100-watt charger. Actually, this isn't even 100 watts. This is 87 watts.
Now, we know how shitty Apple chargers are, okay? Apple fucking iPhone, Apple Macs. You guys get what I'm saying.
So you can
They're
see
big and bulky for no reason. No diddy.
Quite a different footprint for a more powerful charger, a little bit beefier on the width side or the depth, I don't know what you want to call that dimension. 13 extra watts over here, 2 extra charging ports, and an HDMI that we will get to in like 30 seconds. The USB-A on here does 5 watts, and if you end up plugging in both USB-Cs at the same time, they drop down to 45 watts each, 45 watts each. So 45, 45, and 5. But that's not what you're here for. There are plenty of triple 100-watt chargers. What's the HDMI for? Why is this a gaming charger? Well, let's start with the Elite Go, the Pro one, the more expensive one. Which one was it again? This one. You may have noticed that the 2 USB-C ports were actually labeled differently. Did you notice that? If you did notice, reward yourself by hitting the like button down below. That doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna stand by it. The top port has this little source icon, a lot like the source button on your TV. That's where you would plug in your handheld device, like a Nintendo Switch or an ROG Ally or a Steam device. You can charge your handheld with the bottom port, but we're saving that port for something else that we're gonna get to in a second. Plus, when you're charging your handheld with the source port up here, you're also sending a video signal into this device that can then go out of this HDMI into a TV. So now you take your Switch or your Steam Deck on vacation with you to a hotel, you plug your Steam Deck into this, you plug your TV into this, and you can now game in a hotel on the TV.
Great. That would work perfect for the Switch.
Miracle. This might be the first time I actually use a hotel TV. I never use those. This HDMI port supports 4K 60 or...
I mean, I never use a hotel, TV. I'm not really traveling a lot, but, I mean, it makes sense. You use the charger for not only to charge the device, but you can also use the HDMI port to wire your gaming stuff to the actual TV. Makes sense. I like it. Is it worth buying? Right now, no. Like for me, no. Like I literally could just use a USB-C hub, grab my handheld, put it together, put the HDMI in, put it out to the TV. We're good to go. We don't need this extra thing.
Or even 1440p, 144 if you want to like use it at home on your gaming monitor. My 3-year-old is just starting to get into video games, and I will be having gaming sessions with her when I'm on vacation, which is something I've never done before because I'm not bringing this. I'm not removing this from my TV setup and bringing this with me.
Like I said, that is the Nintendo Switch thing that you have to bring around in order to connect to your TV. You don't have to do that with this device. It makes sense. So if you are a Nintendo person, I mean, yeah.
Who brings this? Not me, but I do always bring a 100-watt triple charger with me everywhere I go anyway.
Right.
Now I have one that lets me play video games on the hotel TV. And I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna bring this one. So how about that bottom charging port there that I said we would get to, the one with the computer icon next to it? Did you notice the icon?
Explain that. I see that.
If you didn't notice it, you are not allowed to hit that like button.
Reverse psychology is an awesome tool.
Well, it turns out you can not only pass the video signal through the HDMI, you can also capture it inside OBS if you plug your...
They just sold me on this damn device. He just sold me on this device. Okay, so right off the bat, as you can see, charger, HDMI port for the TV, and then this other port is pretty much to capture your gameplay. So let's say I had my handheld, right? And I wanted to charge it, obviously. Boom, connect it to this thing, charge it, also connect my other USB-C to the actual device. And from there, or maybe you could do a bump, maybe you could do a double. Maybe you could use it to charge and record your capture card. That'd be insane, honestly. That's one cord feeding it. Let's say I have a handheld, boom, right to the device. Now explain it a little bit more though, because I need to hear.
Well, it turns out you can not
What's
only
going
pass
on?
the video signal through the HDMI, you can also capture it inside OBS if you plug your computer into the bottom one. This is also a capture card. Capture it inside OBS.
Awesome tool.
Well, it turns out you can not only pass the video signal through the HDMI, you can also capture.
Okay. Yep. So pretty much what it's doing is you take it, you put it through the HDMI. Let's say you put the HDMI through. I don't know if that'll work like that though. If you put the HDMI connector to the charger in the Nintendo, and then put your cord to a capture card or a computer or the same. I don't know how that would exactly work, but it sounds good.
Capture it inside OBS if you plug your computer into the bottom one. This is also a capture card. Before this, if you wanted to stream a Switch, I don't have the Joy-Cons on here, but if you wanted to stream a Switch on the go, you needed to bring the Switch,
okay.
You needed to bring the dock, you needed to bring the Switch power switch, you needed to bring a capture card, and you needed to bring power for your laptop or whatever you were streaming.
Okay, makes sense. Now all you need is that.
That's it. And you were already bringing this because it charged everything you brought. This is what I mean by practical tech.
Do you
Like
still
if I were
need
to
a
go to my wife
computer?
and try to explain why I'm excited about a charger, that would be kind of an embarrassing conversation. So I won't. But I am excited. I am excited because gaming on the go with my 3-year-old has just gotten considerably easier. 89. What's the difference between these two? Oh, wait, I forgot to mention a very important spec. The capture on this is just 1080/60, which is probably more than you need for streaming on the go. But it's important that you know this is not like a new HDMI 2.1 capture card. This is for passing through 4K 60, 1440p, 144 hertz through HDMI, but it only captures 1080/60. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, the Core Go is the same thing, but it doesn't have the capture. It can still pass through the HDMI, 4K 60, 1440p, 140.
No one cares
for that
about
one.
that one.
It probably goes. The first issue that we ran into on both of our Elite devices is that when we unplugged the Switch and plugged it back in, it didn't seem to go.
A couple cords. Let's say I don't want to play on the TV necessarily. To my sense, I would connect the HDMI cord to this device, right? Connect that HDMI cord to my actual, let's say, Legion Go, right? And then from there, I would connect a USB-C from my Legion Go to the bottom of this port here. And that will allow me to capture my game, right? But technically, I would still have to make it a 2 PC setup to record on OBS, correct? Because it wouldn't make sense if I would just, like, because I could just literally just do everything from my Legion Go if I was going to capture my gameplay. Does that make sense? So let's say I had, this could definitely work. Now, this makes a lot of sense now, okay? Let's say you had a Legion Go, right? Or a small laptop, doesn't matter. Put OBS on that laptop or that Legion Go, that device. Took your Switch. It could also be another Legion Go or whatever, a computer, whatever, game console. Connect that HDMI to the actual device. Connect the USB-C to the device as well with the Legion Go. That way you're using the capture card. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. But I think this would be actually a pretty handy device to do certain things since it is a capture card rather than carrying an Elgato around. So I don't hate this at all. I think this is actually relevant. This is very, very relevant and can be very, very relevant, especially if you're working with things like on the go streaming, like really on the go streaming. I like this a lot. I like this idea, especially with the handheld situation. I'm very curious to see how this is actually going to be. I think I actually might pick one of these up for sure. Let me know what you guys think.